they had me as children. They were like, it was a shotgun wedding. My mama was 6 months pregnant. They were teenagers having babies. And so I also think about them like, oh my gosh, like I have a lot of sympathy for them as I was older. But, growing up, I had, anger and resentment towards certain things that I did not understand. But I've kind of tried to, understand that, it's very like biological about like kind of how fathers and sons are just children and their parents. In the beginning of your father is like superhuman, or he's a superhero. Like humanize, demonize, and idolize is kind of how I put it down. So in the beginning, you idolize your father, and you idolize everything they do. I remember idolizing my father, like wanting to be a boxer just like him, wanting to do so many things like him, and I would hide in his shadow, and I idolized him my whole childhood. And then once I got into my teen years, that's when that separation starts to begin, and you start to demonize your parents. And you go through this whole demonization of your father or your parents, and it's actually very biological. This is how genetic diversity was spread, because we're a tribal species. So like the young boy, the young man in his reproductive years would start to demonize the parents and get away from the tribe and go join another tribe.
So he can procreate.
So he can procreate and create genetic diversity.
Right, because if he procreates too close to his own tribe, you also risk
inbreeding.
Yeah, like the guy that taught me how to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Then and I'm not saying no shade, Brandon. I think he was bred properly. It was just, God put some odd paints in his palate.
We love you, Brandon.
Yeah, we do love you. And actually, he passed away a few years ago, and we do love you. He's a special guy.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, Brandon. But yeah, and then as I think eventually you come back home. There's always like this prodigal son kind of moment, and that's where you humanize your father, because that's what happened with me. Like you start off as a kid idolizing it. You get to teenage years, those years that he got me that guitar. I was probably going to start demonizing him soon. And
he wanted you to at least have a backbeat for it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Something to put all those angsty lyrics into.
Put that anger to lyrics.
Yeah, at least make it a bop. And then I remember when I was 25, like I was sitting on the porch with my dad, and I just remembered I was like, "You're just a dude."
Oh yeah.
And that's when the humanization hit, and I was like, "You're just another dude doing the best you can," and I could see it in his eyes, and we were just kind of like. We were, the father and son dynamic was still there, but he was now a friend and something bigger than a father.
Well, he's another human, like you're saying.
He's just another human.
And that's a tough moment. And it's an interesting moment, too, to look at, because it almost breaks down the wars you were fighting, or the whatever, it breaks down like a lot.
Down everything.
Right. It breaks down the pedestal you held this person on in a way, some of it, but it also breaks down if you've been demonizing it, like, well, who am I fighting? I'm not fighting against, the 32-year-old dad, the guy that I knew who like walked by me and didn't glance, or whatever your thoughts are, whatever your, whatever like you're envisioning. That's not there anymore, and it's like, then this whole like baton that I'm still carrying of anger, it's not even real.
Yeah.
So what's really happening here with me? And that's like a moment you kind of have to look at yourself as well. And that's kind of painful.
Yeah, it's very much a self-reflective moment, and you kind of start to see kind of like, man, I was a selfish little shit, or I was, maybe you were justified in certain areas, at the end of the day, they're just another human doing the best they can, just like you.
And who am I going to be now? That's the thing too.
Yeah.
And sometimes I go back and I put on sometimes I go back and I'm the same person, but more often than not these days, I do a decent job of like, well, let me be the leader, instead of saying you should have led me, or you should let me grow up. It's like, how many times am I going to fucking miss the grow up bus? Like I'm on it. Mm-hmm. But still, sometimes I'll be there at the stop in the morning, and I'll be like, nah, I'm going to let that bitch go today. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting on that bitch today. Wow. So some of that's interesting, and it's interesting to look at, and you're still just a human looking at it and trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's I think all part of the journey, and like
Yeah.
it's rooted in something very old. Like I always thought like that teen angst thing was like something created in the 90s or something. It's like, no, this is pre-biblical. This is something that's been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
If you study primates enough, and you can really kind of see you can learn a lot about humans by studying primates, because they're also, we're technically primates too. And,
There's rumors.
There's rumors. Yeah, I mean, we're all part of the animal kingdom Animalia, and we are of the, we are technically of the greater apes. That's what they call us.
What do you think happened? Do you think what do you think there about evolution? Because it's so tricky, it's so like, because we're the only people that are out here. It feels like suffering like this sometimes.
Can I take a piss and get back to this question? Because this has got an answer.
Yeah, let's take a break and piss, man. Yeah. With the new year upon us, sometimes you got to think about your new moves. How you going to do things different? Especially if you're running an online business or considering it. Whether it's dropping new stuff or looking over how you did and strategizing from there. Or just figuring out why the heck those pocket t-shirts sold out. Shopify is like your co-founder that doesn't ask for a cut, helps you plan, keeps the whole situation rolling smooth, and lets you keep building your empire without pulling your hair out over spreadsheets. Shopify makes it easy. That's why we use them. It's just less chaos, more, hey, I can actually do this. You don't need to be a coder or a designer. Shopify's got templates galore. Pick what fits your vibe. Make your shop look smart. No sweat. So whether you've got an idea rattling around or you're really just about to launch your own brand, there's never been an easier way to do it. Check out shopify.com/Theo and see just how simple it is to get your thing out there. Let's see what you can build with Shopify riding shotgun. Is pornography causing a problem in your life? Do you find yourself watching porno for longer periods of time and having trouble stopping? Is porn affecting your relationship or dating life? Well, you're certainly not alone. Watching pornography has become so commonplace today, and oftentimes men use porn to numb the pain of loneliness, boredom, anxiety, and depression. Shame and stigma prevent men from talking about these issues and getting help for them. I want to introduce you to my friend Steve. Steve is the founder of Valor Recovery, a program to help men overcome porn abuse and sexual compulsivity. Steve is a long-term sexual recovery member and has personally overcome the emotional and spiritual despair of abusing pornography and has dedicated his life to empowering men to do the same. Steve is an amazing person, and he is a close friend of mine. I mean that. Valor Recovery helps men to develop the tools necessary to have a healthier sex life. Their coaches are in long-term recovery and will be your partner, mentor, and spiritual guide to transcend these problematic behaviors. To learn more about Valor Recovery, please visit them at www.valorrecoverycoaching.com or email them at admin@valorrecoverycoaching.com. Thank you. There you go, brother. Wow. Popping into that Celsius, brother. Cheers. I'll have a little with you.
Let's do it.
There you go. Stephen Wilson Jr. right there, boy. Yeah, I remember I came to and we just took a bathroom break and Stephen put on a nice sweater.
Yeah, I did. It's nice. It looks like my grandma's curtain, so it feels.
Oh yeah, dude. My grandfather worked at a factory in their town. It was a small town called Wyoming, Illinois. It was real small, but it was nice when we went there because the world kind of made sense there a little more. It was like a safe place to be. They had a park right across the street. And they had a garden where, like most people had gardens where they grew like strawberries and tomatoes. Everybody had tomato plants, cherry tomato plants. And the summers, the roads would bubble in the summer from the tar. Yeah. And so it was like kind of crazy because every now and then you'd be an idiot, at least once a year, and you would run across to the park, but you would not have your shoes on and you would hit that road and you would literally you would have
Black
what we
tar.
called NAACP feet, you know, and it was, I don't know if that's a racially charged term or not. I don't think it is. I think it's safe. But yeah, but the crazy part